Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and lots to dive into today. The potential of ranked at launch here for Call of Duty Vanguard, but also OpTic simply cannot help themselves talking about iLLeY and Shotty with regard to their potential OpTic roster for CDL 2022. Very much interested your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, this then from info cards, like a Spanish kind of Intel Call of Duty type account. They say the following: if you don't read Spanish, as I do not particularly well, Vanguard will have a ranked mode from launch on November the 5th. Warzone will have a ranked mode from the integration of Vanguard, November 23rd or early December. So we've heard about this, we talked about it yesterday briefly, the possibility of Warzone having a ranked mode coming relatively soon after launch. Apparently, it's going to come at release for Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer, which of course would be, I think, is rather optimistic. But at least if this is indeed the case, of course, subject to change, no official confirmation as of yet, but certainly a promising sign, I think, for the competitive scene. If Sledgehammer deliver this year, we could be in for a great year, not just for actually playing the game competitively, but hopefully watching it as well to at least some degree. This also, because last night we talked about Formal, right? He's got this offer to go over to Halo. There has been some rumours coming out that this might be from Space Station, because Jake Lucky tweets it out right here. The reply comes in for Unit Sean. If you look at Unit Sean, he's the co-owner and CEO of Space Station GG. I don't know if these guys have ever been involved in COD, but I've seen them around some other esports for quite a while now. So, well, maybe they want to get involved and kind of give Formal this offer to come over to Halo. If they can come to that arrangement where it doesn't kind of impinge on his OpTic membership and stuff like this. Of course, he still wants to be part of OpTic, but if he can compete in that Halo event, it seems it's certainly something he wants to do. And we've seen many other, players, even not necessarily professionals anymore, but also Call of Duty pros saying kind of keen to do that as well. So yeah, maybe Formal will take this opportunity if they can indeed make that work. This from the subliners I thought was particularly interesting. Welcome back Revan. Today we welcome Revan back for our upcoming season. He resumes his role as head coach. So a couple of, a month or so ago now, they released him from the team and effectively dropped him. At least that was what it was in the timeline. I was kind of confused whether it's Revan looking for other opportunities, whether it's New York deciding to, just release him from the team. They don't really want his services anymore, because we've seen with pro players, like for example London, sometimes if they want to bring a player back but they don't want to pay as much money, they'll release someone and then just re-sign them for a lesser contract. But in that situation, you don't necessarily, if you're a coach in that situation, it doesn't necessarily have to be announced if the plan is to bring you back anyway. So I'm kind of confused that they make a public announcement they're moving on from Revan for whatever reason, and now he's come back to the team. So I don't know really what angle this takes, to be honest, but for whatever reason and whatever the explanation is behind the scenes, Revan is back in business for the subliners, because there was some talk about that maybe Revan, last year with the issues going on behind the scenes with Clayster and the rest of the guys, maybe the coaching staff should have been more forthright and kind of said, look, this is the situation, this is how we're gonna deal with it, rather than kind of deferring to Clayster's opinion on some of these topics. And there was some talk that guys like Revan and JP Krez, the analyst over there, should have stepped in and said, look, Clayster, we're not just going to let you do your own thing on this team and be the complete leader. We're also involved in the management and the decision making, and we think this is best for the team, and being a bit more forceful in that sense. So that was kind of why people thought, okay, maybe they want to move on from Revan because he hasn't done the best job. But still ready to get back on the grind, he says. I think a theoretical team next year, Clayster, Crimsix, Hydra, Neptune, has a lot of upside potential, right? So Revan and JP seem to be back in business going into next year. This is also particularly interesting. Of course, another player that was kind of part of an organization, but since doesn't not necessarily seem to be the case anymore, was this from Fellow. Really kind of mixed opinions really on this, because Fellow initially said this on stream, then he does a tweet we'll have a look at here in a second, but he effectively says he's parted ways with the Dallas Empire. I didn't make any sort of tweet yet, because hopefully I have some good news, potentially, I don't know, going to another organization, or joining back there as a substitute, because who knows really what Dallas want to do with their team going forwards, what even the situation looks like with OpTic and co, and the merger, right? Who they want to bring on as a sub. Do Dallas Empire want to have Fellow back as he was last year? It's certainly an option, but anyway, he describes right here they didn't even give me a send-off tweet, and he was kind of gutted about that, to be honest. But anyway, I'll share the clip on screen, and then we'll look at his follow-up, which is definitely paint a different picture.
You took away the Empire? Yeah, I'm not on Empire anymore, boys. I didn't make a tweet yet because hopefully I have some good news to share with you guys. And on top of that, I definitely expected them to make a send-off tweet, and I was gonna quote tweet that and obviously tweet something, but they didn't even give me a send-off tweet, so that's cool. But whatever. Whatever. So hopefully I got some news to share with you guys soon. Oh, it's Sneak? What's
So, of course, Fellow did step into the starting team for a while, right, last season on the Dallas Empire, right, when they had all the chaos going on with Huke. Fellow came in. He was kind of like the short-term replacement while they tried to get Clayster, supposedly, as we found out a couple of months later from the Subliners. But it was at that kind of stage 3 time where Subliners were looking really good. They made the grand finals there. And, of course, they didn't really want to split up and go their separate ways. So, Fellow says this here. Wanted to clear some stuff up. First off, Empire have treated me nothing short of great over the last year. And as far as the send-off, there was some miscommunication on future opportunities that still needed to be decided upon. Nothing but love from my corner at the Dallas Empire. So, of course, like, Fellow, he doesn't want to burn any bridges or anything, right? He wants to make sure the relationships are maintained, which, of course, is a good idea. So, doing some clarification here, even though I'm definitely a different vibe in this tweet than what you kind of got from that video there. But still, I mean, I'm sure Dallas are in kind of chaos right now, trying to figure out what they're doing, what substitutes they want to bring on, and, maybe like the announcement or whatever that Fellow's going to be moving on is kind of still by the wayside. So, whether Fellow goes to another team, whether he just goes to Challengers again, whether he is a substitute somewhere once again, or whether, Dallas just decided to go down a completely different route, I suppose that all still does remain to be seen. But of course, yesterday, Fellow and co were playing in this tournament, the $100,000 or whatever OpTic Warzone tourney. And Fellow says right here, no shot, I got a crossbar here, Marker. You got absolutely smoked, says Scump in the replies. But Shotzi, of course, was playing it. I'm pretty sure he was playing with Fellow. There was this clip that came out right here where Kismet gets kind of world star. This is Summit, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's clearly a place of interest in Warzone called Summit, or maybe it's not called Summit, but it certainly looks like Summit. And get a remake from the Black Ops 1 map initially, and Shotzi's making these absolutely ridiculous plays when he's just finessing all the way out the window here, which is something that you could kind of do back in the day. Like, you could jump between these windows. Maybe you couldn't quite jump between these windows, I don't know. It would take some strafe jumping way back in Black Ops 1, but I mean, look at this guy, just absolutely goes all the way through and absolutely world stars Kismet. So this guy's just out of control. Be good to see his POV of this one, to be honest. But there was also this going on, right? So Shotzi was playing this tournament already. The fact that Shotzi was the one playing this tourney, certainly people were discussing that, because pretty much the only pro players that are actual current starting pro players for next year that are guaranteed like starters for next season that are playing in this tourney were, of course, Scump, Dashy. They had Envoy in there as well, of course, former teammate now on LA Thieves, and then they had Shotzi and iLLeY. Like, so it kind of seemed indicative that something might be going on, especially because this comes out from OpTic Chicago. Dashy found the Gulag Grim Reaper, and twice in a row he plays up against iLLeY in the Gulag, and straight away, right, OpTic, people have been tweeting about OpTic Shotzi. Now this kind of the OpTic guys themselves tweeting about the Grim Reaper being iLLeY in the Gulag. Like, you gotta think maybe this does indicate something. And TacticalRab also tweeted out as well, Pope iLLeY wins his ones, and a couple of times playing up against Dashy, and kind of funny replies as a result. But this also from Crone back in the replies, friendly fire will not be tolerated, right?
I cannot shoot straight. Of course it's Ender, bro. Oh, bro. I lost full. Bro, Ender is just a book. What is this guy? He's the Gulag Reaper?
You win this fight and you return to the front line. But if you lose, wow. Listen up, soldier. Win here and you return to the front line.
I just ran into Brandon again.
iLLeY and Dashy, not only have they been a duo for a very long time, I remember when Dashy was first being talked about, it was really people knew about iLLeY before they knew about Dashy, at least. That's my perspective of things. iLLeY was kind of like the S&D kid way back in the day, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, and then iLLeY and Dashy were kind of like the 2v2 duo during Infinite Warfare especially, and maybe previous to that as well, and kind of funny they match up in the Gulag right here, but of course nowadays, it seems like they're going to actually be teaming on a proper CDL roster for next year, if these indications from Dallas and OpTic are anything to go by, as they may well indeed be. This, of course, as OpTic Chicago point out, the winners of it in the end, 100,000 Warzone Invitational Champions, didn't really get too much chance to watch this, but I think people were saying it was kind of a bit of a mess, right, the way it was run. It wasn't too clear what was going on in terms of who was in the lead. There was a load of breaks and stuff. Husker, Z-Laner, and Destroy ended up winning it. Destroy, this guy's absolutely nasty. I remember watching him play back at Search and Destroy Chalice and stuff back in the day. It is cool to see some of these guys that are dominating the Search and Destroy scene for a while, well. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Destroying, like, Skiliosis, or I don't know what his name was, but they played a load of Modern Warfare Remastered. I used to watch them because they were disgusting at it. But since the kind of S&D scene has died out to some degree, it's cool to see some of these guys still making good money and a good living playing Warzone professionally. How long that'll last, who knows, but maybe if ranked comes to that game mode, it could invigorate new life, and I'm sure people obviously want the changes and the anti-cheat and stuff to arrive to Warzone, and hopefully that will also mean, well, better things for competitive multiplayer side of things as well. This also for Mitch, just to confirm, now taking teams after the World War II throwback tournament we looked at just yesterday. Now it's a Modern Warfare throwback tournament this is going on. This is a variant throwback tourney, 4v4, so kind of interesting to see how this plays out, to be honest, because 5v5 Modern Warfare wasn't, I wouldn't say it was great. I think a lot of people wouldn't say it was great, but domination was also one of the bad things about that game. Hardpoint and Search and Destroy only, 4 versus 4. This, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what happens here. Of course, the teams are yet to be set in stone. Once again, really cool of Hitch and really impressive putting on these tourneys. Aiden even comes in the reply, I would be down to play, he says. We also get this thread, so Envoy says, Alec and I, that being Arcitys, and I need to hit me up. So, well, then the reply comes in from Scump potentially joining up with Envoy and Arcitys. Formal that Arcitys wants as well, so maybe this is going to be the roster. Can I coach says Sender, and that Formal's like, yeah, not happening. But yeah, Arcitys run it up, he says right here. So maybe this could be pretty much the Chicago Huntsman team from last year Modern Warfare, with Envoy, Formal, Scump, and Arcitys, of course, minus Gunless as it was at the start of the year, and then it was Priestahh towards the end of the title. But yeah, potentially that could be the 4v4 Chicago Huntsman reunion type squad here if Formal does come through to play Modern Warfare once again, but this time in a 4 versus 4 setting. And I think this actually could be really good fun to watch with Hardpoint and Search, especially with some of these pickup teams. So looking forward to this on the 13th of October in just a few days time, of course. And just wanted to finish out with this clip from Formal I thought was pretty hilarious. Elite strats, I save these for the tourney days. Formal, well, Scump and Carver that were playing this, playing this tournament right here. $100,000 Warzone one. Definitely a, well, Formal cannot miss. This guy's absolutely out of control. But yeah, I mean, what a strat. You simply cannot make this stuff up. But very much intrigued to get your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really upset the YouTube icon. I know you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Alright, you guys stay.
I got the wheel.
I'll go across.
Are we going down, Damon?
You guys get ready to fight.
We look down and
just get to the end of the bridge.
So, I have a freaking FFAR.
I'm dead. I can ping him maybe. I can't.
I think we're gonna be able to get him.
Damon, I think we go across the bridge.
I just look so rogue.
We're safe here.
You guys got this.
It's just these people on the other side of the bridge. They're.
I think when this next zone moves is when we try getting our licks on people.
Okay. We have to be careful of the people across.
Chat.
Yeah.
Those are like.
Chat, I just went so rogue.
But
Oh my
like,
god.
it's not gonna happen. Wait, Matt, what just happened to you?
Motherfucker flew